Next time I'll put up a fight.
Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Eric.
I'm Ty.
And we are ShantottoCast.
We're doing a fun episode today, but sadly it's going to be our last.
As always.
As always, because Eric just told me that he's sick of the Untitled Goose Game memes, and I don't know. I don't know if he's going to leave this episode alive, guys. I really don't know.
Help.
I'm lead designer on the Untitled Goose Game TCG. I can't. It's my career.
I'm
Eric.
glad to work with you on that, and but
Work.
Look, if I were to, but the memes themselves are just sometimes too much.
They're
so
good. They're so good. Peace was never an option, Eric.
I know. I'm gonna die in pieces.
Yeah. A future editor Ghost Eric put in the little there. Peace was never an option. Untitled Goose Game meme for me, please.
Okay.
Yeah. But before you go to sleep forever, we have a fun little episode where we talk about 5 of our favorite cards each. So we're kind of in this kind of weird moment in Final Fantasy right now. There's not too much going on. Competitive season is both trying to attempt and failing due to coronavirus, as you may or may not know. This might be a little dated episode depending on if we care about coronavirus in 2 weeks.
Yeah, we'll just publish it whenever we publish it.
Yeah, but we'll see. But yeah, so we just wanted to take kind of like an easy one. We wanted to give ourselves a bit of a softball on this one and just kind of talk about some of our favorite cards and just why we like them so much.
Yeah, we'll have a lot of work ahead of us once Opus 11 comes out, so stay tuned for that. But
well, these are our favorite cards from Opus 1 to 10.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
So in 10 sets, we'll do another one of these.
Well, I know I'm saying with the set release in general.
Exactly.
But anyway, with this episode, we're talking about our favorite cards. So we each picked 5 of our favorite cards from the previous 10 sets.
Yeah.
As we're going into Opus 11.
Yeah.
And so we each made a list of 5. I have mine aren't in any particular order. Ties are in a particular order.
Yes,
so
I just had to be extra.
Yeah. So, do you want to go first? I go first?
You go first.
Okay, cool. I guess I'm going first.
Yeah.
So, again, in no particular order, Opus 2 Emperor Zand. Zandy?
Zand.
No, we actually did look this up. It is
Oh, it is Zand?
Yeah,
Okay.
someone looked it up. I forget who.
Because I do know in Final Fantasy 3 it's Zand, and they're not the same character.
Yeah, but
it's a weird thing.
It's
anyway.
a reference. But,
so Emperor Zandy.
So Emperor Zandy, he's a legend, fire, and costs 5. No EX burst or no multiplayable, but his job is Emperor. He's from Final Fantasy XIV, and he's got a really cool effect. So you can only play him by paying with fire CP, and when he attacks, you get to choose one for the opponent controls and deal a 5k. I like that a lot. But then also, when he dies and is put from the field to the break zone by any means, you can choose an opponent's forward and deal at 9k, which is awesome. There are ways to buff that and multiply on top of that, kind of compound the damage. And I just think it's a really cool card.
Yeah. I mean, this is a card, it hasn't been like a hard staple, but people have been playing it. Even now, it still sees play in Monofire Mill. I play Monofire Mill. I love seeing this card. I don't like seeing it all the time, but like when you play it, it's scary, and you don't want to stare it down.
Oh right, like I remember, when I originally did build Monofire, this was like the only legend in it for the longest time, and then I updated the deck over time and made it a little bit better.
Mind you, he's talking about like Opus 4.
Yeah, I'm talking like Opus 3 and 4 Monofire.
Yeah.
I was like, I wonder if Monofire could like work, and now it definitely works.
Yeah.
But like Opus 8 or 9, I took this card out because it was like, well, there's other priorities, and then immediately people started building like hot fire decks that put him in there for Opus 10, and I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
so then I had to refactor the deck and put it back in, and I mean, I had fun with it though.
Yeah,
it was good.
Because when we got into this game, Zand was like $10-15.
Mm-hmm.
He was like he was a spicy card.
Yeah,
like,
I remember pulling one and being like, yo!
Yeah. And he's still cool to pull.
Oh,
it's
God.
Just like, oh, my God. And his foil looks so
Oh,
nice.
my God. Dude, that's one of the few foils in this game.
He's really fallen in price, but...
Oh, yeah.
still,
Well, yeah, but like...
It's worth it to pick up the foils, but it's just so nice.
That's a card I got signed.
Oh, yeah!
Remember I sent Jesse with one out to, what was it, Gen Con, I think? And, yeah. So, the card is great, but the foil card signed is even better.
Yeah.
But moving on to the next card, again, in no particular order.
Yeah.
Wrong window.
Nice.
I'm stupid. We have Noct from Opus 8. He's a legend from Earth, or rather, an Earth legend from Final Fantasy Legends.
Yep.
Job Warrior of Darkness. No EX burst, no multiplayable. He's got 8k power and 3 really cool abilities. If you control a Job Warrior of Darkness other than him, he gains 1,000 power and Brave. So 9k with Brave, that's pretty good.
Yeah, and it's not exactly hard to stick a Warrior of Darkness
Definitely.
around.
They actually have pretty good synergy. They're not perfect yet. They're not where I think they should or could be. But, like, it's there and it's cool. The second ability is choose a forward or monster. If its cost is X, break it. You can only use this ability during your turn and only once per turn. To clarify, you pay that cost twice.
Yeah.
It's so
XX.
that's what that double X is for. You pay that cost. You pay double the cost of the character you want to break. And that's awesome because you can look at monster decks and just be like, no.
Yeah,
See that
I'm
one
gonna-
cost thing? I'm gonna pay 2 and kill it.
Yeah. And it's super easy to do that. Like, that's a big thing with me. I play a lot of Earth Ice, and you're going to see that in my list. Like, facing down a Noct sucks for me only because it's like, I know you could pay 2 to just get rid of my Flan.
Exactly.
And I don't want to play another Flan.
Yep.
I want to be able to just use this one.
Yeah, it's like you're like end step Flan, and I'm like, okay, cool, you tapped it, and I'm gonna break it.
Yeah.
And so like you can't use it anymore after you search. So better make a real good use of that next one.
Yeah. Or you force the opponent to search. Or if they don't have anything up, it's like, do you want to discard a card to Flan search?
Yeah,
'Cause otherwise
right.
You're just losing it.
Exactly. So and then his final ability is his special Ebony Slash. You discard one other Noct, pay 2 Earth, choose a forward, and deal it 8k. That's pretty good too.
Yeah, it's simple, but
Hey, he's
I
a
mean,
really
8k is nothing to scoff at.
right. It's enough to kill most things on the board, especially early game. If you get knocked out like turn 2 or 3,
Yeah.
pretty good card to stare. Pretty good card. You don't want to stare it down.
Yeah. I think the only way that it could get a lot better, because I noticed if you control Job of Warrior of Darkness other than Noct, it doesn't say forward. So I'm wondering if they're planning on eventually doing like Warrior of Darkness backups?
Oh, that'd be great. I'd love that.
Because that would be really dope.
I would love that.
Yeah. Because just to be able to just have him always be a 9k Brave
Yep.
would be really handy.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Especially with all the search potential and recursion. Anyway, so moving on to my next card. Again, no particular order. We have Illawa. Anybody who plays against me in person, you know how many decks I love to throw this card in. I think I have 4 decks with a full playset of her.
Damn.
Might have 5.
Wow.
I throw lightning into a lot of decks.
Yeah.
Ironically, it's not my most utilized color. But I do like my lightning cards. So she's a 3-drop lightning forward hero. She has no EX burst, no multiplayable. Her job is Nightshade. And she's got 6k power. She has haste. And basically her first ability is that the first time a summon or ability chooses her, it's canceled. So if you use field wide abilities or any type of constant check, that doesn't count.
Yeah. But a lot of people refer to it as the bubble.
Yeah, it's
you
a
have
bubble.
to pop
It's a
the bubble
shield.
before you can actually target her. And there's a lot of ways around that. But even those ways around it, you're still putting in a resource to do it.
You're
Even if
almost
you're tapping something, you're still tapping something to get rid of the shield.
Yeah, exactly. And then her special ability
Which is
what
nuts.
Honestly, I don't know if I like this more than her special. I like them both quite a lot.
Yeah.
Her special, Shale,
Sure.
it's just discard one of her.
Yeah.
And you activate all the forwards you control. They gain haste until the end of the turn, and your opponent's forwards lose 2,000 power. So it's a board-wide effect. That ability is super versatile.
Yeah.
That
ability is not. That ability is game winning by itself.
Reactivate all your forwards. That's cool. Give them haste. That's filthy. Make your opponent's forwards all lose 2k. That's painful.
It just does so much for essentially 2 mana.
Yeah.
And that's what's so insane about this card. Like,
Yep.
a lot of people will agree with you on this. Like, Illa's probably one of the... She's a great card. She's arguably one of the greatest cards of all time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And at least so far. From Opus 1 to 10, she's one of the best cards in the game. And just 3 insanely good effects. Her only downside is that she's a 3-drop 6k.
Yeah,
And that's it.
if she had 7k, I don't know, man.
Busted.
This would be gross. Like, Tactics Advance 2 already has a lot of good cards.
Yeah.
But, like... Yeah, because that's all my... Yeah, that's my 5th deck with her, and it is my title deck with Tactics Advance 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, like just it's such a good card.
Yeah.
I can't talk enough about like I can think of at least 20 situations where Shoal uniquely has a different impact on the whole board, and it just changes everything. It's so good.
I mean, that's why she's seeing so much play in Rampier right now.
Yeah,
Is because she's just a 3 mana, potentially win the game.
yeah. Like if you can find a way to get this card on field first or second turn without overpaying and just go in.
Yeah.
Oh, you're in a good spot. But also, if you keep it on field, she just keeps generating value the longer she's there because your opponent's so afraid to do anything.
Yeah. And the fact that you always have to like 2 for 1 for her.
Basically, yeah. For a 6K.
Yeah. For a 6K.
For a 6K. So moving on, we have a card that is, to some, more powerful. But we have Estinian. The legend version, not the, what is it, common rare version? The Estinian Light.
The one that was a promo as well. I think it was a common.
I think it's a rare. I think it's Estinian Light, though. It's a rare. But the point is, he is a 5-drop 8K from Final Fantasy XIV. His job is the Dragoon, so very, very easily searchable. And some synergy with Dragoon type stuff. He's lightning, if I didn't mention that already. He's got 8K power. And he's got some pretty crazy abilities.
Yeah, you're right. He's a rare.
Gotcha.
Sorry, I just want to look it up.
No, you good.
I have my binder right next to me, so I might as well.
Yeah, right. And he's got no EX burst, no multiplay.
Yeah.
But his abilities, if you control 5 or more backups, doesn't matter what color, he gains haste. Okay, that's pretty good, I guess. That's fine.
Oh, wait. Something I really want to mention really quick.
Okay.
Estinian was the first time we saw 5 or more.
That's right.
Which was really weird when we got
We were like, wait.
What do you mean 5 or more?
Yeah, or
like,
more.
We were freaking out about it.
So this card's probably really good for boss battle and, you know, anything else similar.
A champion.
Champion, yeah. Because, you know, the more backups you have, it doesn't get stronger, but like, So, but then the why it's important he has haste is when he is blocked, you just kill whatever blocked him.
Yeah, no damage.
Indiscriminately, doesn't deal damage, they just die.
Yeah.
So not only does that get around a lot of damage receiving abilities that trigger off of damage, it just kills something dangerous.
Yeah.
And then you can reactivate him by paying 1 lightning, and he can attack again.
Yeah.
Or you can use him as a blocker, either or. But like...
Yeah, you could give him pseudo brave for 1 lightning CP, which is already good.
And I struggle whether I like this card or Fordola better.
Yeah.
But then I think of when I saw this card and I was like, it's just the murder machine.
Yeah.
Like there's
and the art is just legendary. That art is so nice.
I want that in a full art so much.
That art makes me want to play Final Fantasy 14.
Fair. But yeah, so like Estinian is just a great card. I noticed that everything I've picked for this list is a legendary hero. Actually, everything's a legend except for 1 card.
Well, it's like I'm looking at mine really quick. Yeah.
You have all the same actually.
Yeah.
Oh no, -1.
-1.
Ty represents the little man at one point.
Yeah.
So, and my final card here, again, no particular order. We have Rain from Opus I, the legend, not the common. Yeah, I want to say the fire version is a common. But he's a 3-drop.
Fire version's a rare. Or is it an H? I don't know. We'll see.
No, it's definitely not, because it's not that good. But anyway, Rain is a 3-drop 7K, light forward from Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. He is one of the Sword Saint, or not the...
He's one of the main characters.
He's one of the main characters. I forget what the Sworn Swords of Pelagia or something like that.
No, that's a specific subset in the game. The main 2 characters are just knights.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So yeah, so he's a knight either way. 3-drop 7K, perfectly on curve, totally standard.
Yeah.
Nothing unique about it. But then you read his abilities and you're like, oh. So when he attacks, all opponents' forwards lose 2K. All of your opponents, or all of your card characters gain 2K.
Yeah.
So you immediately get a 4K buffer on anything you're swinging into, which immediately can actually kill some smaller things.
Yeah. So he swings in as a 9K.
Yeah, and makes your opponent afraid to do jack, unless they can activate monsters post that effect.
Yeah.
But then if they put it on the stack, then they'll already be on the field when the ability finally resolves. And
really quick, something else worth noting. He's essentially an 11K while swinging. Because he gains 2, he reduces whatever he's swinging.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So like, you have they have that 4K buffer on everything. Yeah. So all of your stuff becomes 2K bigger. Your opponent's all of it gets weaker, and it's just so crazy.
Yeah.
But then he has 2 special abilities. The first special ability, Leadership, is just you discard another Rain. And some people were running the common or rare,
right.
the cheap Rain, just to get the special off more often. But the first one is all the forwards you control gain haste. So effectively, you play a Rain onto a full board, give it all haste. As after he's the final card, you play it, you get haste. Yeah. And then suddenly all your stuff is massive and dangerous.
I mean, it's borderline worth just doing just to give him haste.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just so you get that increased reduction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. But then his second special ability is called Undermine. You discard one of him and then pay 2 of any color.
Which isn't bad.
Which is, pretty solid. And then all forwards your opponent controls lose 4K. So if you're swinging in with a hasty Rain, or even Rain second turn, whatever, there's an 8K buffer on everything. 6K reduction with the 2K buff on him and your whole board. If you have an Illua going, you can reduce even further. I think I did that to you once while we were playing an ice game. Yeah. Again, when you were playing, what were you playing? Mono Ice or Ice Earth?
It was either that or it was a sealed.
No, it was real life.
I was probably playing at that time.
No, it was regular standard.
I was playing Mono Ice.
Yeah.
At that time.
I swung into Ty's board and I just special. Okay, shoal. Yeah. Okay, another shoal, all in one turn, and Ty's just like, my stuff isn't that big. It's 10K. That's like that was a whole board wipe, and I got like 4 damage in one turn, and it felt great.
And that's it was kind of funny because I remember when Rain got spoiled, we were like, this is gonna be like a $50 card, and we were like, I don't want to say we were freaking out about it, but we were like a pseudo shoal.
He's searchable because of his job.
Searchable because of his job. He's a 3-drop. He's on curve. He's light, which makes him extra searchable. And we were like, I don't want to say we were freaking out, but we're like, this is a good ass card. And then it's on no play.
Yeah. Well, so the best part is it was still a $25 legend.
Yeah. Like, it was still expensive for a while.
It didn't see play, and it still really doesn't. But like, it still has that potential for a really hard aggro deck. Yeah. And my favorite story about this card is, I went to order some online. I was checking prices actually, just to see like, hey, what is this worth? Some shop listed them at 25 cents.
Oh yeah.
Instead of $25. So I pulled 2 from my box, and I was like, well, 25 cents. This has to be a typo. They gotta be like doing a bait and switch with Yu-Gi-Oh. Like Yu-Gi-Oh does that sometimes.
Yeah.
People...
quick aside, because we have to mention another card game every episode. For Yu-Gi-Oh, when Zodiacs came out, some of the cards were hitting like $100. People would list them at $1, but they would be just under the amount that you need to ship it, and then you buy other cards, and they say, hey, sorry, we ran out of these. We're gonna send you everything else instead.
Yeah.
And it was like a loophole. I'm pretty sure they fixed it. I'm 99% sure.
TCG Player dealt with that loophole, and they nixed the ability to do that. But there were still a lot of people who got scammed out of cards. That people
scammed out of money.
Right. Well, money and cards, really. Yeah. But like they made it look like a typo, but no, I waited 2.5 weeks, and the real things showed up.
Yeah, I still remember we were like. Because I even told you, like, hey, by the way, watch out, this might be a spam.
Yeah, no.
And you were like, well,
I'm like, it's $2. Like, it was $2. I ordered a bunch of cards from them. It's fine.
Yeah, it's not a big deal.
Lo and behold, they honored it. Yeah. Like, I even broke out my magnifying glass and, like, looked in real close, like, with the one that I got out of my box. And then I'm like, nope, that is the same thing. Like, it's real. Yeah. And so good on whichever shop I ordered that from. I really respect you and appreciate that you actually held to that. Because I'm sure somebody had that taken out of their paycheck for that typo.
Yeah, but someone got hit with that.
But yeah, I appreciate it regardless. You made my day. That was like a story in our group for a while.
What was it? 2 more things about this card. Number 1 being, it's still like $12.
Yeah,
which kind of
it's still
surprises
expensive.
me. I just looked it up and like, it's weird because I just haven't seen that much play. But I remember this card got spoiled along with the Dark Legend of the set. Dark Legend of that set. And we were like, yeah, that Rain's really good. Star cards, it's okay, it's alright, you can only 2 for 1. Called Veritas, not liking it.
Yep.
But this Rain, though, and I still remember, I opened up my box, and I pulled a foil Veritas and a normal Veritas, and I was like, yeah, but I didn't get a Rain, though. I didn't get the legendary.
I remember that box opening,
And I was
man.
like,
That was one of our
Yeah.
first videos.
Yeah, and I was still happy. No, that we did that at the store. I remember because that was Opus.
That was Opus. Well, no, it's Opus 8.
Yeah.
So that would have been the beginning of the channel. We did record those.
I think we brought back another box or something because I think I bought one box. I think I
opened my box.
because I remember
know for
I
sure.
opened up mine in front of everybody. Oh, okay, we did. I bought 2 boxes. Opened up one at the store. Opened one on camera.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, Veritas. Ooh, okay, whatever. It's not a ray. and it's still so
And
funny to think
later
about
on, we're playing games. It's just like, man, I wish I had a Veritas. Ty's like, yeah, you got Reigns though.
that. Yeah.
You got Reigns cheap though. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, fair. But yeah, so now we can move on to Ty's list.
Yeah.
Do you
So
want
mine's in order. So I'm gonna start from 5 and go up to 1. So my number 5 is, as everybody of the channel knows, I'm a big Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced guy. Number 5 is Lednar, Opus 4 Lednar, a 2-drop 5K fire forward FFTA with Bismutar, which is kind of an odd job and won't ever have any support. Forward.
you say that now?
Yeah, when Lednar blocks or is blocked, if your opponent doesn't pay 2, Lednar cannot be broken this turn. When Lednar is chosen by a summon or an ability of your opponent, if your opponent does not pay 2, Lednar cannot be broken this turn. So, 2-drop 5K, it's on curve. And it's not a very proactive card, and when it hits the board, it doesn't really do anything. But, especially when this card came out, people forgot about the tax. So there were so many times where you're like, okay, where they'd like play out their hand and they'd only have like 1 backup up. And they're like, all right, I'm going to swing in with my 10K. Okay, block with my 5K. Okay, it dies. Pay 2? What does that do again? And it's
Yeah.
so, that what does it do again was such a good
That was the
feeling.
most satisfying
And it was so
crap.
satisfying of just
On a rare,
yeah.
too.
Like I don't want to call him out, but a long time ago, right after Opus 4 dropped, I played against Nick of Envy Games. And I remember I don't want to say I was like mad at him, but like he was running like a max rarity'd out mono ice with the 6-engine, like all expensive cards. This is before I even started really running mono ice.
Yeah, right?
And I was just like, oh, he's super tryharding this tournament. I was super mad. And I was playing Golbez that was running Lednars. And I played a Lednar against him. And he did all this fancy play. He don't freeze my Golbez. He did all this. And then he kept my Lednar up and he's like swinging with block. I was like, block Lednar. Would you like to pay 2? And he was like, oh, I forgot. And I was just like, yeah, okay. And then that gave me an extra turn. I drew into Cloud of Darkness, played Cloud of Darkness, wiped both of our boards, Golbez effect, played 4 forwards, including 2 hasties, and just swung and won. I'm sorry, Nick. I'm so sorry. I still love that match. Like, it always replays in my mind.
Time flies, though.
yeah.
But yeah, this card at the time was just kind of one of those mind game cards. That's one of the. I think it was one of the first RTFC cards.
Yeah,
Where
it
we're
really
like,
was.
Where you'd talk to your opponent and be like, dude, it's right there.
Yeah.
Like, stop forgetting. You can see the
Yeah.
little 2 symbol.
I think the only other like RTFC card was like Golbez, where someone was like, how many forwards do you
Yeah,
get?
really? You get that
You
many?
get 4 forwards? It's like, yeah.
And you can get the light ones, too?
Yeah.
You can get the Onion Knight?
Yeah.
Oh, man, jeez.
4 different elements, my guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this Lednar, because I always have to talk about flavor, he has so much flavor. For a little spoilers, in the game, he's like this idealized version of another character, and he just can't die. Because he's like an idea, he's the Bismutar, which is the only character in the game that has that job, and he just can't die. Like, he's invulnerable, unless he's taken down by a judge. So the fact that he actually has that, like, hey, you have to pay 2 is so on flavor, and I love it to death. But yeah, it's a cute card. It's still fun to play with. But my number 4 will have to be a card that I mentioned a second ago, Golbez from Opus 1. So 6-drop. Okay, so Golbez, a lot of you probably know what this card does, but always got to explain it. Golbez is a 6-drop 9K lightning forward. Category Dissidia 4. When Golbez is put from the field into the break zone, you may search for up to 4 forwards of cost 2. Each a different element, and play them onto the field. Their auto abilities do not trigger. So, this is a really good card. So, back in the day, it was just the Golbez deck. Like, Golbez was meta. Strongest sword, as it was known.
We did mention that in our meta-analysis of way back when.
Yeah. And the fact that it's just if he dies, you just get 4 forwards. And that's such an offensive ability. It seems like kind of like, oh, defensive, like,
Yep.
oh, I want more bodies. But the fact is, if you swing in with him and he dies, you could at the time, you could search for 2 hasties.
Yep.
Which was nuts.
And then you would still get those during your combat phase.
Yeah.
And you keep going in, yeah.
And you could also play it defensively by playing something like Larsa or playing Lednar, as I said. Like, there was a lot of very interesting cards that you could choose with Golbez, and he was really good because of that. At the time, you could break him through Famfrit, which was Opus 3.
Yeah.
And Delita, which was Opus 1.
Yep.
As well as Cloud of Darkness. And there were just so many really interesting, weird ways to play him.
Or even Feral Chaos.
Yeah, Feral Chaos.
I thought about that for a while.
One.
But like people made oops all forward decks with this,
Yeah.
where it literally was like 2 backups and 48
You
forwards.
ran 1 Cosmos, 1 Odin, and that was it.
Yeah.
And everything else was like kind of a monster mash, all forwards. Oops all forwards, as Eric said. And it was a really fun deck. And now Golbez decks are kind of shifting. They're still this like aggro. They still just want to get as much stuff in. Quick shout out to E-Man. At the recent Summoners Cup, he was actually playing a Golbez deck that was very weird.
Was it E-Man or was it Jesse?
It was E-Man.
Was it E-Man? Okay.
Yeah. Because he was running Golbez, Gilgamesh 11.
Right, okay.
And his main target was Luso.
Oh,
His
that's
whole
right.
idea was
yeah.
that he'd get Larsa, Tiger Lassie, I think the new one that's a 2-drop that can cancel summon for 2. Let's see, Larsa, that, Luso, and I always forgot the last one. But he always got 4 really weird forwards that were, Ritotin?
Oh, Ridditon, yeah.
Ridditon, that's it.
yeah.
And he always had these really good targets. He got to top 8. I had to play him in top 8. I had a very good matchup because I was playing Earth Ice.
Right.
But it was still a really interesting deck. I was kind of spectating some of his games. Like, just when he was able to play those 4, it was just like, oh, that's just a win con. And the fact that Golbez in Opus 1 was an extremely strong card, and even now is an extremely strong card.
Yep, still a $4 card.
Yeah. That, and he's my boy Golbez. I love Golbez. I gotta love Golbez.
You like 4. You do like 4 quite a lot.
I love 4. But moving on. So number 3 is Star Symbol. So this one's kind of a boring choice, really.
Yeah, it's pretty standard. It's a lot of people's auto.
A lot of people like it. It just became a promo, which I'm super excited to get. So Star Symbol is a 5-drop Earth backup, whose job is Star Symbol.
I think it's the only backup on the list.
Yeah.
By the way,
it is. It's an EX, category 11. With the EX burst, when Star Symbol enters the field, you may search for 1 category 11 character other than card name Star Symbol and add it to your hand. Tap, put Star Symbol into the break zone. Play 1 forward of cost 6 or less from your hand onto the field. You can only use this ability during your turn. So it seems like kind of, okay, yeah, whatever. But it can search out so many cards.
Yeah, it searches and plays a lot of cards.
Yeah, and so many relevant cards. Like, the thing is, you don't even need the first effect to work with the second effect.
Yeah.
Just being able to get a search. So, off the top of my head, it searches Shantotto. It searches Rampir. It searches Nagmalata. It searches Kumlanot. It searches Eldnarsh. Like, there's so many ridiculous targets that it could just fetch for 5. And on top of that, if you want to, you could tap or breaker and play them. You can't do that at the same turn.
Right.
But being able to just say, like, oh, here's my 1 mana Eldnarsh. Here's my 1 mana 6-drop Shantotto. Here's my 1 mana Kuja. Here's my 1 mana Orphan. Like, there's so many cards that it's just like, oh, yeah, this 6-drop card's now 1.
Yep.
And it's ridiculous.
Yep. Or, like, even break it, play a Stinian, and then put another forward down, or another backup down. It's like, oh, well, that's 5. Okay, cool. Guess we're going in.
Yeah.
And then all your mana's back.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, cool. I paid 3 for an Estinian that has haste, and I have all my backups up.
Yeah. Also, I'd like to point out her job and her name are the same.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's hilarious.
Yeah. What was the other thing I wanted to mention about her? Oh, the other cool thing is the last clause. You can only use this ability during your turn. It doesn't specify main phase.
Yeah.
So a big thing that people have been doing, I've been doing this a little in Earth Ice. It doesn't come up as often as I want. But you hold a Renoa in hand, and you keep Star Symbol up, and then you do whatever you want with like your Sephiroth or your Kujas or something. And if the person's like, okay, I'm going to kill that, you could tap Star Symbol, play Renoa. Renoa gets her ability. You flicker your card. They get their ETB, and then they avoid getting destroyed because it's a new instance of the card. Once again, that's like an ideal situation. But even Star Symbol just being this flat like Searcher and being able to play something for free is already really good, and you get to technically flash something in, like, she's, in my opinion, one of the best. She's, in my opinion, the best backup in the game.
I would argue she is definitely like top 5 backups in the game.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I feel like she's just a hard staple for a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, what's the pricing rate? It's still a $5 backup.
It's more expensive than Gold Pass.
Yeah.
And it's a promo now.
Yeah.
Which I'm super excited to finally get some of those.
Oh, yeah.
I really want, because like
the art's not even great.
Yeah.
It's just a screenshot from the game, but still.
But for some odd reason, the foiling on the like kind of weird graphics looks really oddly nice.
It does. Kind of does.
It's the same thing with like Agito Murigito, where it doesn't look good, and then you get a foil, and you're like, okay, that looks a little bit better. Yeah. Better.
It makes the dark parts stand out a little bit nicer.
Yeah.
The contrast is good.
Yeah.
So
moving on to my number 2 spot, we've got 7-drop Sephiroth. I've said so many times on the show, I'm an ice player. You shouldn't be surprised. When this card got spoiled, I'll get into that in a second. So Sephiroth is a 7-drop 8K ice forward. Dissidia Final Fantasy VII category. War Hero, which I think Sephiroth's the only character to ever have that title.
I think...
I'm 99% sure that...
You're probably right.
Yeah. So when Sephiroth enters the field, your opponent discards 2 cards from his or her hand. Already starting out really good. When Sephiroth attacks, choose 1 forward the opponent controls. If your opponent has no cards in his or her hand, dull it and freeze it. And then his special Solar Flare is special and ice. Your opponent discards 2 cards from his or her hand. You can only use this ability during your main phase. So he's really good.
Yeah.
So my little story. So when this card got spoiled, I was like, 7-drop for an 8K body. Discard 2. Only when he attacks. Like, I was very...
You were kind of ripping on the conditions. Yeah, you were very pessimistic.
I was very pessimistic. And then when it came out, I tried it at 3, and then I tried it at 2, then I tried it at 1, and I didn't like it. And a friend of mine, I believe it was Bill, convinced me to run it at 3 again.
I think it was David. Might have been David.
It was David. So he convinced me to run it at 3 after I traded him a foil 1, of course. And so I had to do this like mad scramble to get 2 more. And I knew I had 1 in my binder at home. And I needed a third one. I had 2 in my binder at home. I needed a third one. And I was like freaking out about it. And that same event, we played out our event. I came in I didn't do very well, so I got 4 packs. So I did okay. And I was just like, you know what? I'm going to high roll it. Give me Opus 7. And first pack, I'm just chatting with Avery about something, and first pack rip it, foil Sephiroth. And I almost started crying. I was like, oh my god. Mind you, at the time, he was only a $20 card.
Yeah.
But it was $20 I didn't want to spend.
Yeah, right?
Also, no, I'm going to save that story for later. But, so, he's just this insane card. The fact that he makes the opponent discard 2, already really good. Almost already worth the 7-drop price tag. But that second effect comes in handy so much in Ice.
Yep.
If you're running the Flans, you can almost guarantee it every turn. And if you have other Sephiroths in deck, you can guarantee a special every other turn. Like, a big thing with my decks now, and I'm going to eventually want to do a deck profile on my deck, is I'm running 3 of this Sephiroth and 2 of the 3-drop Sephiroth back attack. And I use the 3-drop Sephiroths almost exclusively just for Shadow Flare because it's that good. It is that good. Like, just making the opponent discard 2 is just nuts. Because even if they play what's in their hand, you're forcing them to play it.
Yep. Well, also, this card is so good that there's times where you've slammed it on an empty board.
Yeah.
Where it's like, yep, first turn, pitch force, Sephiroth. And the opponent's just like, I guess I'm losing 2 cards.
Yeah.
Cool.
I've also done a handful of times where I'm like, discard 3, Star Symbol, search, Shantotto, search whatever, Mulata or something. But it's like, oh, hey, I'm gonna go into a normal curve. And the other person's like, okay, cool, here's 2 backups. I'm at 2 cards in hand. It's like, oh, cool, here's this pitch 3 Sephiroth.
And they're like, wait, what?
Yeah, and it's just like, okay, I'm playing on nothing for 3 turns.
Top deck.
And then it's just like, oh, cool, I'm gonna, next turn, Shadow Flare. Next turn. Like, I did have one time where I locked out Tim where, I'm sorry, Tim. He was playing Chocobos, and I remember I played the Sephiroth, made him discard his entire hand after I wiped his board with a Shantotto, and I play Sephiroth, make him or he draws 2 and he passes. Play Sephiroth, make him discard 2. He goes to his turn, draws 2, passes. Shadow Flare. Okay, passes. My turn, swing in, do whatever. Renoa, Flicker, Sephiroth, discard 2. And he's just like, I just don't get to have cards this game. I made him discard like 10 over the course of 5 turns. Like, it was so, once again, so sorry, Tim, but like, that's just what kind of happens.
That's how he works, yeah.
Yeah.
And with us getting another Sephiroth coming up soon,
yeah, it was
going to get worse.
It was also going to be insanely playable, but we'll get into that some other time.
Yep.
So my number 1, it's her. It's your girl. It's my girl. It's our podcast, Opus I Legend Shantotto. So, if you don't know what it does...
Why are you even playing the game?
We lied. The Star Sybil was not the only backup on here.
That's true.
7-drop
stupid.
Earth backup.
Mm-hmm.
Dissidia Final Fantasy 11. If Shantotto is on the field, it gains the elements of fire, ice, wind, earth, lightning, and water. Which is also a little weird wording. If Shantotto's on the field, it gains elements. It gains elements of fire. Like, weird.
Yeah, it gains... Well, that's...
Instead of just saying this card counts as a fire, ice, earth, wind, water element card.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's specific wordings for rulings and stuff. I guess it matters.
And then the big one, when Shantotto enters the field, remove all forwards from the game.
It's the dark hole.
It's a dark hole. It's a better dark hole.
It is, yeah.
Because they don't even get to interact with those cards afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to I'm sorry that all of my cards have, like, an antidote.
Yeah, right.
Anecdote around them.
No, hey, it's cool. It's interesting. It makes more
So
video.
Shantotto is one of my favorite characters in any Final Fantasy. I love her to death. I love her so much I commissioned art for this channel. I pushed Eric to name the ShantottoCast.
True. That was a lot of discussion.
Yeah, and I love Shantotto. She's just this ridiculously powerful card. Just pulled her. We just filmed the tins tonight. Pulled another one. Amazing card. Love her to death. And we just had the Summoners a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
Or last week. And I was playing against Maverick. Once again, shout out to Maverick. And I play Ice Earth. And the big reason I play Ice Earth is because I really love how much ice can slow down the game, but I always hated when I lost the board. And Shantotto is just the ultimate equalizer. Just the fact that she could just wipe the board when you're so far behind. That if you're willing to eat that 2 damage and just saying, okay, I'm going to get rid of all of that, is so nice. But I was playing against Maverick, he was playing Waff, and he won the event. Congrats.
Yeah.
And we played run 3. And he pitched his rain first turn, and I removed it from the game using Kadaj, right? We keep going through the game. He does Waff shenanigans, builds up a 5 forward board, or 4 forward board, slam down Shantotto. And he's like, that's an all I'm going to have to hold.
Yep.
Whatever. Moves everything off to the side. I just hit 5 backups with my Shantotto. We keep playing through, we're playing through. He does Waff shenanigans again, gets 4 forwards again, and I draw 2, use Kuja, break 2 backups, play another Shantotto, and he's like, you're kidding. You're kidding me. There's all of my rains. All of my rains are gone. And he's like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do. And then when I played against Eban, after I beat him, he said to me, how many Shantottos are you running? Are you running 3? And I said, yeah, I'm running 3. Turns around, talks to Brian, and goes, how am I going to beat 3 Shantottos? He's like, of course I lost. I went up against 3 Shantottos.
This card is it's one of the oldest cards in the game. It's among 230 of them.
I think, in my opinion, it's the most powerful card in Opus I.
Absolutely. I would not argue there.
It's the best card in Opus I. Almost by far. There's a lot of good cards in Opus I. And there will always be those cards in Opus I that we see play. Maria, the Anthems, etc.
Yeah, of course.
But
this card was $30 when it came out.
Yeah.
Going all the way back to the beginning.
I think the lowest it ever hit was 11.
Yeah.
And that was when it was seeing no play for exactly 1 meta.
Yep,
it was like Opus 6.
Yeah, it was like the beginning of the Opus 6 meta.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah, the thing is, there wasn't anything big enough to really Shantotto, or you didn't worry about big boards. Because Shantotto was already good because she was a counter to Golbez.
Right.
Because even if they broke Golbez and got the 4 forwards, you could wipe them. If they had Golbez and another forward, you could wipe it using Shantotto. Like, there were so many approaches to it, and so many ways to get around it.
Yeah.
But Shantotto was just, once again, just this great equalizer of just, oh, by the way, I'm just going to wipe the board. And because of that, she's still staple to this day.
Still $20.
Yeah, she's the reason you run Earth Ice.
Yep.
Like, early builds of Earth Ice would be a full mono ice deck with 3 Shantotto.
Yep, there's 3 Shantotto, and then I think some others like
occasionally there would be like 1 Chaos.
There'd be a minor, a Chaos, or a searchable
Star
Flans.
Sybil.
Yeah.
And then it eventually grew into the Flan engine, into Star Sybils. Earth has been slowly incorporating itself more into the deck.
Yep.
Cecil, Gabranth.
I almost wonder if we'll get a mostly Earth with a little bit of Ice build eventually. Like, oh, here's Earth, but also Sephiroth.
I have been seeing some Final Fantasy VII centric builds that are close to that, where it's mostly Earth with some Ice.
Yeah.
And the Ice is, I think, Genesis, Sephiroth.
Genesis, Sephiroth.
Genesis, Sephiroth, Harley, Edward.
Okay.
I think.
I can imagine
like a
that.
couple Ice cards.
Yeah.
But yeah, this card, Shantotto, she's my girl. I love her to death. Very, very excited for the full arts coming in Opus 12.
Oh, it's gonna be so good.
I
The full art Legend reprints.
Yeah.
Just whoever came up with that idea, thank you.
Yeah. And I'm still writing this conspiracy theory. My idea is that they're going to be putting new art onto them, with the exception of the Minwu. I think Minwu is going to stay the same, but I think for Shantotto and the Lock, they're going to give them new art. I don't know. My opinion. I hope it happens. I'd love it if it happened. I love her.
I'm relatively indifferent, but like it'd be cool.
Yeah.
It'd be cool regardless.
I just love her so much. She's searchable as Star Sybil. She's a backup. She counts as every element. She color fixes. Like she does so much.
Yeah, it's a really versatile, really good card.
Yeah.
And there's just, I mean, for a good player, there's no downside.
Yeah. I think at the beginning of the game, she was the most expensive cost-wise card.
Yep.
Rather, she was 7 drop.
No, what set was the 9-drop Bahamut in Raiden in?
Oh, yeah, that was Opus 1.
1 or 2? Yeah.
Bahamut was Opus 1.
Okay.
Raiden was Opus 4.
Was it?
Yeah. It was really? A very weird legend.
Wow. But yeah, the 9 drops. And then not until we got Sin.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
But still, like, I love her to death. I can literally go on a whole rant about how much I love Shantotto.
Yeah, unfortunately, most of my amazing stories don't incorporate a Shantotto or any of my favorite cards.
We do have one story with Shantotto.
Shut up! We are not talking about it.
No, I'm laughing about it because it's literally the first time. It was the first time we used the gag that the show's ending.
Oh, you know what? That's
I pulled it on
fine.
You, and you were just like, "Oh, well, our show's ending," and I was like, "What?" And you were like, "Yeah, because you pulled this shit." Because I was being a dick about it. I'll like 100% admit because I finessed you into like overextending.
I mean, it was a good play. I'm not mad at you. It's just I was salty. That was
such a good game.
That was such a good. Dude, we were. But
yeah, this is my favorite card. I still run it at 3 in Earth Ice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still trying to get foils. I only have 1 so far. But yeah, I love her to death. She's great.
So that's it, I think. That's our list of favorite cards.
From Opus 1 to 10. We'll see
1 to 10.
Again in
a couple years.
5 years.
That'll be a little while.
4 years. Something like that. For our favorite cards from Opus 10 to 20.
Yep. But thanks for listening. We
like a short one. But
a little bit. Yeah. It's on the average end.
Yeah.
But we'd like to hear your guys' favorite cards. Give us your lists of favorites if you are so inclined.
Top 5 favorites, top 1 favorites, top 100 favorites.
Tell us why our favorites suck.
Yeah, tell us why Shantotto Opus 1 is entirely overrated. Tell us about the new Lednar that's about to get spoiled. It's so much better than the Opus 4 one.
Yeah, you know what? Someone from Square Enix, give us all the answers you have to Shantotto from Opus 13.
Yeah, yeah. Oof. Yeah. So, that was a fun episode.
Yeah.
Our Ko-fi link is in the description.
As usual.
Depending on when this episode gets released, we're going to be at the Summoners Cup. March 28th.
28th. Unless it gets postponed, we will let people know, of course.
Yeah. But we're going to be there. We're going to be casting. So come say hi.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys later.
See ya.